Buenvenidos, compadres of both big black individuals and small and petite fellas. I'm a holla. Anyways, moving on. Today's video will be on Dragonmaids. This is a deck that I have used many times to climb to the King of Games rank, which is the highest rank in the game. Currently, we are in the Shaddoll meta, the treachery that is the Shaddoll meta, which the deck just recently is going to get hit on the ban list, so oh, I mean, it's going to be nice. You're not going to see it every game now, thankfully. Utopia is probably still going to be there, but that's besides the point, right? Today, I'm going to show you the Dragonmaid cards, what they do, and how you play them. If we're putting it at the most basic level, this deck just turbo summons Dragonmaid Shield, which is an Omni Negate monster effect card. That's pretty awesome, because you'll be able to deny your opponent their resources and their actions. Your game plan as this deck is to dry out your opponent and not let them do anything. Well, you let them do stuff, but you farm advantage off of them, right? Dragonmaid Shoot is the dragon counterpart of House Dragonmaid. House Dragonmaid, I might just go off to each card, right? So House Dragonmaid, this monster requires one Dragonmaid monster, one dragon monster. Very easy to summon because every single one of these cards are all dragons. It's lagging a little bit, give it a minute. Like Dragonmaid Tinkaheck, right? That's a level 5 or higher, or just a dragon monster. It also has a Dragonmaid name, so you could use it as a Dragonmaid. So you can create House Dragonmaid. Now this card has a when effect, not an if effect. Now that's a little complicated, so I'm not going to go into that right away. Just know you want to have your effects that return Dragonmaid monsters to your hand. Have them happen on chain link 1, which means the first thing that happens, right? The first thing that starts a chain. And you shouldn't miss timing then. But this card destroys one monster on your opponent's side of the field every time that happens. That'll come in part later, right? I talked about Dragonmaid Shield, it being an Omni Negate, and every standby phase, you can special summon a Dragonmaid monster out of your graveyard or your hand. House Dragonmaid has a similar effect, just a much weaker version of the effect, which you have to target a Dragonmaid monster you already have on the field in order to bring out a different maid, be that the dragon form or the human form. Now here's Nurse Dragonmaid, right? This maid revives any other maid from the grave onto the field, but only the main deck ones and only the level 4 belows, right? So only Chamber Dragonmaid, Kitchen Dragonmaid, Parlor Maid, Laundry Dragonmaid, and I guess another nurse, except Nurse Dragonmaid. So no other nurses. So you're only allowed to revive these main deck monsters, right? And the dragon counterpart is Airness, which Airness can summon, or Nurse can call out Airness from the graveyard or from your hand, right? And all this card does is let you special summon a level 4 or lower Dragonmaid monster from your hand onto the field. So knowing that, right, to make it as least complicated as possible, you can use this Airness effect, right, to discard itself, right, to summon Nurse, and then you summon any other maid, I guess, or if you don't have them, it's probably still fine. You'll be able to, during the battle phase, at the start of the battle phase, every maid has this effect. You can return this card to your hand, and if you do, special summon a level 7 Dragonmaid monster from your graveyard or your hand onto the field, right? And the dragon forms of these Dragonmaids have a lot higher attacks than their human counterparts. Obviously, this has 500 attack, this has 2600 attack. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. These are actually just beat sticks. The hand effects each of these has are nice, but most of the time you're not gonna use them. You're just gonna use them as just beat your opponent to death with a rock potential, right? So let's move on. I'll talk about Laundry Dragonmaid last. Parlor Dragonmaid, right? This card can send any Dragonmaid card from your deck straight to your graveyard. Be that Dragonmaid Tiding, Dragonmaid Welcome, Dragonmaid Changeover, or maybe the dragon form of the Dragonmaid, right? Being Dragonmaid Lopar or Tinkaheck, since they're both level 8, Parlor can call on both of them. Being that its effect, right, at the start of the battle phase, special summon a level 8 Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard onto the field by returning this card to your hand, thereby proccing your house Dragonmaid and Swiss cheesing your enemy. Alright? That's only if you have house Dragonmaid on the field though. So both the level 8s can be called by Kitchen and Parlor, and both the level 7s can be called on by Laundry and Nurse, if that makes any sense. Kitchen Dragonmaid kinda has the same purpose as Parlor, where you add a Dragonmaid monster only, by the way, to your hand, and then you discard a Dragonmaid card, monster. If you add a Dragonmaid monster, then you have to send one Dragonmaid monster. So you can use this to cycle through your maids to make sure you have all of them and all the dragon counterparts. That way you can get your whole flow started back up, you feel me? It'll make more sense once once I'm playing the deck. But I'm gonna talk about Parlor again, because Parlor's probably, I'd argue, is the best main deck made. Because you send any maid monster, right? That way you can special summon them back at any other point, or have the dragon counterpart, so you can get an extra card in your hand. You can also send Dragonmaid Tidying, which has a grave effect, right? Where you can special summon a maid from your hand or your grave, just like that. Just right after you mill it, you could just do it straight away. It banishes itself as cost, but that's like nothing. Also has a nice actual trap effect by returning one of your opponent's monsters, but that's definitely not why you need it in this deck. Some of the strongest decks right now really struggle against this card. Dragonmaid Welcome also is probably one of the weaker cards, I'm gonna be honest, but I still like running it. If you send it with Parlor's effect, it'll make all your maids untargetable, which is good against Utopia, because Utopia relies on targets, except they're one equip spell, and that's just one equip spell. You can also send Dragonmaid Changeover, which can return Parlor on your field to your hand, and then you get the fusion spell, so you can summon out your main big boss monster. So yeah, that's kind of it. And then there's the dragon counterpart of Kitchen, dragon counterpart of Lopar. Since they're both level 3, they can call out level 8s. And the last main deck Dragonmaid is Chamber Dragonmaid. The dragon form of Chamber Dragonmaid is not currently in Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links, so that's kind of it. But Chamber Dragonmaid can call up any other dragon form, right? So you can call up any of these monsters and return it to the hand. But these cards' second effect, right, where they resummon the human version back, will never go off because Chamber doesn't fit with any of these cards' parameter, right? Because Lopar here says, at the end of the battle phase, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon a level 3 Dragonmaid monster from your hand. So the two targets only being Kitchen and Parlor. It's the exact same thing for Tinkahek, exact same thing for Nundrill, exact same thing for Airness, but for level 2 monsters. This is a level 4 monster. That's not gonna happen. But the one specialty that Chamber Dragonmaid has that people often forget, if your Dragonmaid Shiyu gets Kaiju'd, Dark Hold, or anything like that, and you don't use the Omni Negate on that, and the battle phase hits, and you're able to summon this card at the start of the battle phase, which you could do with Dragonmaid Tidying. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show that interaction, but you'll be able to special summon Shiyu back to the field if you need a 3500 beater, just to like block out your opponent. And it usually works, most of the time at least. You could get unlucky, but that's just what makes summoning House Dragonmaid instead sometimes better. A lot of this deck involves just like knowing interactions and winning out those interactions and trying to put it in your favor. Then there's Dragonmaid's Downtime. This card is a free search on top of activating House Dragonmaid's effect, and it can also be used as spell and trap removal, which most of the time you're going to use after you get your like combos rolling, right? But the main strength of this card is that your skill lets you place it onto the field if only your opponent controls your card. So basically from turn 2 and onwards, or yeah, actually just turn 2 and onwards. This card is just generally a good card though. It gives you free advantage throughout the entire duel, so that's a big plus. Yeah! Woo! That's me. Also, I should probably talk about the second part of the skill, where you can send any dragon monster from your hand straight to the graveyard, and then you can add a different Dragonmaid card, a monster, right? So let's say you only have dragon forms in your hand. you could toss out a Dragon Form card to add Chamber Dragonmaid or Parlor, and then both of them will get you to this Dragonmaid changeover. I didn't talk about Chamber Dragonmaid, but all it does is searches a spell and trap from your deck and adds it to your hand. That being Dragonmaid cards. Now, I want to talk about this part here, right? Send one dragon monster from your hand to the graveyard and add one Dragonmaid monster. People take this a little too literally, right? Send one dragon card. They will run cards like Borreload Riot Dragon, right? Which I'm not sure if I'm going to show the one card combo right after this or at the beginning of the video. Now, depending on when you see it, you know, that's what it is. Hello friends, so here I am demonstrating the one card combo, right, with Borreload Riot Dragon using the skill, right? So you'll activate the skill, send this Borreload Riot Dragon to the graveyard, snag yourself a Chamber Dragonmaid. Chamber Dragonmaid searches any Dragonmaid spell or trap card from the deck. So grab the fusion spell. Now you activate the card you sent earlier, right, Borreload Riot Dragon, to destroy the fusion spell in your hand as cost. That way you can bring back this dragon. Now, the fusion spell itself has an effect to return a Dragonmaid monster from your field to your hand. So now you have the conditions met. You have a level 5 or higher dragon monster, a Dragonmaid monster, and now you have the fusion spell, making it possible for you to fusion summon Dragonmaid Shiyu off of one card. Now this does have its use cases, but there's one extreme weakness with this, and that is that the only Dragonmaid monster you could really summon is Chamber Dragonmaid now, whereas with like going into hospitality or anything else, like it's a lot of different combos you can go into. Just know you want to work with more in-engine cards, like you want to have Nurse in the graveyard, you want to have Parlor in the graveyard, you want to have Kitchen in the graveyard. Things like that, right? Because all of these effects work with all the dragon forms, and they just mesh really well. But like, as you can see, that's just the one card combo though. That's just one card gets you to this boss monster. I'm a holla. But yeah, people take it a literal too literally, right? And they'll run cards like I will admit, this card is good on paper, right? It's good on paper doing that one card combo. But you miss out on having other like different maids in your graveyard, which like helps you get your card advantage numbers up. Now another card people I have seen that enjoy to run, right, is this card here, Ceruvius the Ancient Ascended. I would let this one slide because it goes around Effect Veiler, right? Effect Veiler kind of shafts this deck a little bit. But like I said, most of the time is actually bad for you to do sending this card specifically, right? These are just general good cards, I guess. Like running Book of Moon might actually be better than running this card. But like it's all up to you at the end of the day, right? But this is what I would say is like a bare minimum deck version, I guess, like a rundown version. Now, that's obviously not the deck I play, right? This is the version of the deck I play. Is this Yuto? I'm playing... I didn't copy it to Yuya, apparently. Okay. Well, let's go to Yuto. This is the version I play. I don't run this card. I was doing that for a video. I recorded this yesterday, but like I low-key like stumbled a lot on my words, and you know, I think I explained the deck better this time. But yeah, I'm running El Shadal Construct and Clearwing Synchro Dragon. Like you never summon these cards. They're just cool to have in the extra deck. Wow! And if you don't have Book of Eclipse, you could run Forbidden Droplet. MST is just Spell Trap Destruction. I have 2 Chamber Dragonmaids, but you probably only need one since you could just search it right out of the deck. Now, what we will be doing in the future, most likely, where is the news? What we will be doing most likely in the future is, now that this ban list is out, is maybe running Super Poly or Treacherous Trap Hole, because now that if Dragonmaid Shiyu actually gets unlimited, we will be able to run all types of shenanigans or a limit 1 spell. There's not really any good limit 1. There's not really any good limit 1 monsters. We could run Monster Reborn. We could run Super Poly. We could run Storm even. I don't know why you would do that, but you could do it. You could run Treacherous Trap Hole. You could even summon Gravity Axe Gnarl. I'm gonna be honest. This would probably be pretty good, since you could turbo out Shio pretty easily. Yeah. I guess that's most of it, actually. What does that do? I'd be doing some shenanigans out there. That's what I do know. But yeah, enemy controller, any cards like that would be nice. So let's get into the duels. Why not? I'm probably gonna play 3 because this video is already 13 minutes long, and that's kinda long, not including the 1-card combo. Wow. So let's duel. Yami Yugi. I am going second. My fault. Let me control myself. Okay, so he's setting a card. He's setting another card. Oh! Oh! Ah! The Dark Magician! My fault. Let's stop being dramatic. Anyways, you see this hand right here? This is a nice hand. I'm not gonna lie. This is a pretty awesome hand. I got Spell Trap Destruction, Board Breaker, Fusion Summoned. I could do it all. I'm gonna hit him with an MST. No, here, hold one of these, buddy. I'm sorry, I'm tweaking. Anyways, I'm a holla. I'm just excited, okay? I'm just excited. I haven't played this deck in a while. So I'm a Milner's Dragonmaid, and I'm gonna snag me Parlor. Yeah, Parlor. I will mill Dragonmaid Tiding. Actually, I will not mill that card. I will mill probably Dragonmaid Airness. What is this? If you control Blue Eyes White Dragon, Dark Magician, negate all face-up monsters your opponent controls until the end of this turn. Let me show you a cool trick right here. It's called Dragonmaid's Downtime, right? The card we get for free. I can return this to my hand now and add a different Dragonmaid card to my hand. So now I can add Hospitality, Welcome, the Interruption of the Trap card. But I will be adding Hospitality because I kind of want to get some monsters back. So I'm Mill Chamber, and I will be fusing now, right? So there's only so much you could do about this, right? So there's Dragonmaid Shield, right? There's my Omni Negate. So Kiteroids, Karibos, they don't really work out that well. And I will now be able to summon my Dragon form, Dragon counterparts, and we will be able to win. Now that was a pretty good hand against a pretty old deck. So hopefully I can get a matchup against a little bit of a more modern deck. So that's one Dragonmaid, 0 opponents. I know I have the card in the deck, right? But I'm telling you it's not that good. Black individual chasing me. Oh, heroes. That's the sound of me winning. I'm a winner. Alright, so my opponent's playing Draconic Contact, right? Which is a pretty good skill. Anybody who says otherwise at this current point in time is smoking some hot crap. I'm a holla. Anyways. I am a nerd. Studious. I don't know. I'm tripping. I'll be activating my card. I'll be snagging me a wait. Hold on a minute. Wait. Hold on a minute. Low key, right? This is a hard choice, but I think I got it. I'm gonna do Dragonmaid's Welcome. Okay, so the whole game plan is to get to Dragonmaid Shield, right? We can all agree on this, right? Everybody? I'm looking around. Nobody's around me. Okay, well. This is the plan, right? You know how I described that you use Airness's effect. This is to summon Nurse Dragonmaid. It's just an example, right? So I'm gonna summon Parlor off of Nurse's effect, right? Because that's like 2 special summons off of -2. I'm getting 2 cards, okay. That's what matters. Then I mill Changeover. I activate Welcome. And Welcome's effect, if I control 2 or more Dragonmaids, I can add any card from my graveyard back to my hand. And I need a level 5 or higher Dragonmaid monster. Or else I won't be able to fusion summon, right? So I'll return Airness back to my hand and use that card as fusion material for my Dragonmaid Shu. And this is where the special set Heretic Seals comes into play, actually. Because now I have an actual interruption to go into with these 2 free bodies. Rinku Shokan! I have 100 attack Heretic Seals. So now I have my 2 sets of interruption, and I'll be able to use Dragonmaid Shu. This is the best part right here. This is why I say Parlor is low-key the best card in the deck. You activate Parlor's effect, you send Tiding from the deck straight to the graveyard. And now, if he finds a way to wipe my board, I actually have a way out of it. So my opponent's going to activate the yellow button ability. He has DD Warrior Lady. Interesting. He's going to activate the yellow button. He's going to give Super Poly straight to his hand and Polymerization generated into his hand. So that is a +2 in card advantage, and he is going to Super Poly my monsters away. That's gonna suck. Who's he gonna get first? If he goes for Dragonmaid Shu, that's not the end of the world. If he goes for my Heretic Seals, which just returns one of his cards back to his hand, then it'll be fine. It won't really be too big of a deal. Now the only dragon form I have in my graveyard currently is Airness, so Parlor won't actually be able to exchange, unfortunately. Let us commence forth. He is thinking about this. This is a hard decision, I'm not gonna lie. I have 2 interruptions. Which one was he gonna go for? So he can either get rid of my Omni Negate or my Bounce. He got rid of my Omni. Smart player. Elemental Hero the Shining. He's gonna set a card. Unfortunately, this card... Hold on. If this card is your extra monster... Once per opponent's turn. So I can use it at any point. What is that? Wait. No, this is one of the cards that got hit. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, target 1 face up monster, your opponent destroy that target. Huh? I don't know why we're playing Fencing Fire Ferret, bro. What year are we in? So I kind of messed up by not going onto on, unless I get time. I don't know how this will work. I'm gonna be honest, but I should be able to survive here. Yeah, okay, so it's already past the battle phase. I can't do anything. So I'm gonna tribute the Heretic Seals, and I could return a back row. I can only return his monster, so I'm gonna return his fusion monster back. The Heretic Seals effect's gonna activate, and I could summon another card. Now, I didn't talk about Laundry Dragonmaid because she's kind of the worst Dragonmaid. She mills 3 from the top of your deck. They could be good, it could be bad. I actually milled both green dragons. Or both dragons low park and call on. Now, he has to make a decision here, none of them really benefiting him that much. Wow. Ah! There goes Laundry Dragonmaid. And now it's my turn. I drew Book of Eclipse. That's a kind of an awesome card. So I'm a normal summon Kitchen Dragonmaid. I'm going to just mill... I think it's Low Par Dragon. That's the only Dragonmaid I don't have in my graveyard. So now I have every Dragonmaid available to me. That's awesome. What kind of back row would he have? So from what he's revealed from his hand, right, he's already used Super Poly. He's gonna crack down. He's gonna crack down my kitchen Dragonmaid. That's okay. I don't really have a problem with that. So he's gonna take my monster. That kind of sucks, but it's like whatever actually. And I will be milling my last maid. And this is why I'm saying Dragonmaid tidying is actually super awesome. Activated from my graveyard. I'll be able to special summon Nurse Dragonmaid. Nurse Dragonmaid will call upon Chamber Dragonmaid. I'm getting all types of maids today. So I just went +2 off of this interaction. You know, I had a card in my graveyard. I summoned 2 cards off of that card. You know, we're getting we're in the money. We're in the money. We're in the money. Now, there is a course of action I could take here that would be super awesome, which would be just to summon Shu right now, but I kind of want to do it off Chambers effect just to show you it. Also, passing thought while I'm waiting for this guy, I had a guy come into my stream saying that, why don't you play Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links on stream anymore? And that's mainly because I've kind of not been enjoying the game. They've been releasing meta after meta where it's literally just you're dueling against the same opponent multiple times, and I kind of get bored of that. And I've been enjoying My Hero Ultra Rumble a lot. That game makes me really happy. It's really fun. It's definitely a sleeper game. I did not expect it to be what it is. So I think I'm just gonna summon Nurse Dragonmaid. Not Nurse. House Dragonmaid. I don't think my opponent realizes how much danger he's in. So what is this? If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, target one face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. And if you do... That's just bizarre to me. Like, I didn't think a card like that even existed. I'm gonna go into House Dragonmaid. Boom. Boom. I should not have... So I got rid of the wrong one! I wonder, actually, if I use Lopar's effect. Because this says that target's effects on the field cannot activate... What? Okay, we're karma cutting House Dragonmaid. I think we've lost the plot. Bro, this is not worth it. Alright. Suit yourself, friend. Let me summon Laundry again, because why not? Let's mill the top 3 cards I got. Yeah, because here I milled Downtime, Book of Eclipse, and MST. It's better to see it over here. Well, that's no good, man. So, I'm gonna activate Chambers effect, resummon Dragonmaid Shield, by the way. Ha 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 ha. And then use Laundry Dragonmaid's effect to summon one of my level 4 Dragonmaids. I'm gonna do Narendra because that's the one that corresponds. And my opponent is sadly going to pass away early in this life. Of Yu-Gi-Oh, that is, not real life. Get your mind out your cheeks, boy. Anyways, I'm mahalo. I will be posting that replay, thank you very much. Now what I will say about this deck is that this deck has one thing going for it in this current day and age, and that's its card advantage, right? It can keep up with some decks going +3, +5 off of their skills. Here we are against Utopia. I am going second. Let's hope this is not the FTK. FTK standing for first turn KO, right? And a deck that can FTK is never going to be healthy in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links or any other format of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it is like playing solitaire. You are watching your opponent do his thing. Which, you know, some people, they're like, I'm one of the few people that enjoys FTKs. Yes, you are the problem. But that's besides the point. I'm just talking about the FTKs because like they're a big issue. And thankfully they decided to ban Catapult Turtle, which is a card that Just makes it really easy to create FTKs. It's an enabler. So my opponent's gonna do a whole lot of hullabaloo. I'm gonna skip to my turn. Okay, so I low-key like that. I was talking about how this deck only had like card advantage going for it, because like this is almost like the perfect example for it, right? Here my opponent's playing what's going to be the #1 deck in the next meta, which is Utopia, since they barely got hit. My opponent has a trap card negate, right? Which sucks balls, because unfortunately the card I get as going second card advantage is a trap card. So Eagle Claw will negate it off rip, and he is summoning Abyss Dweller now, which prevents my graveyard effects from activating. Now this isn't exactly the end of the world, it's just gonna make this duel a lot more difficult. And I just got another problem with this deck. You can draw this card, which usually it would be a +1 in card advantage because you get it off of your skill. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case this time. I drew it. So what I'm gonna try to do, right, is I'm gonna try to bait out my opponent's counter trap. Hopefully he falls for it. If he doesn't, that's probably the that's probably the worst case scenario. So I will snag Chamber Dragonmaid. I will activate my skill to set my trap, which can be negated, unfortunately. So let's go Chamber. Activate Chamber's effect. Gonna use Abyss Dweller's effect. So I do believe I used downtime here. Unfortunately, right, he could just negate it off rip, which would suck. He used it! Wait. You fool. You've made one and only one mistake. Book of Eclipse! Goodbye, JoJo! Okay, so he's gonna negate Chamber Dragonmaid, which probably does nothing. Unfortunately, my opponent's about to draw 3 cards next turn. I can't do anything about that, mind you. Alright, so here's Dragonmaid Chu. Ba 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 boom! So he's gonna... Oh my god, this is gonna be so rough. So now he has 4 cards in his hand, because... I mean, that's when Droplet... Droplet is not better there than Book of Eclipse, actually. Never mind. He's gonna dwell on his thoughts. Chu's effect will still stand. We'll be able to summon Chamber Dragonmaid! Probably Drew grabbing Hospitality. Because honestly, there's not much I could do here. Except try. That's all I could do, right? He will be activating his yellow button ability. Mind you, that's one of the only decks that... What?! Alright, well, I lost, GG. You love Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links. You may be asking, how did I lose there? Well, unfortunately, my opponent is playing a deck that has no weaknesses. And that's kind of just it. This deck has no weaknesses. Usually, right, with skill restrictions, they limit you into the archetype that you get, because the consistency boost will always be better than anything else, right? So if we look over here at my skill, right, Dragonmaid's downtime. My skill restricts me into summoning Dragonmaid monsters except from my extra deck. Meaning, I cannot play Lava Golem, which he just removed both my cards off my field. And his yellow button enables him to OTK me through my card. Which sucks, but like, that's just the current state of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. What can you do? You can't really do anything. Yes, I gave him cards with Book of Eclipse, but like, what do I do? Run Dark Hole instead? It's just unrealistic. But I like I said, I like that I talked about it in the last duel, because I could show you what exactly is the problem with playing a deck like Dragonmaids. I love card diversity, right? There are so many cool decks in this game, but this is currently the game state. Everyone's playing Yuma and Astral. Like, look at this deck. 3 Lava Golems. This is 2 structure decks. Just get 2 structure decks and you'll be alright. It's really accessible too. I'm not saying the game shouldn't be accessible. I'm saying please let there be a reason to play any other deck. Going to game 4. We're going up against Red Dragon Archfiend, which is a very powerful deck. Skill or not. Thankfully this deck is much more fair than the other deck. But with skill restrictions, right? You cannot normal or special summon any monsters except synchro monsters or 5 or lower dragon and fiend monsters. That is a great restriction, alright? I like that. Picasso. We like that. Some activate Maid's downtime here. Mind you, I probably should have waited, but it's probably going to be fine anyways. We're going to be adding Lopar. So I summon Chamber. Wow, it's Chamber Dragonmaid. We add the fusion spell. Yeah, so it's only the fusion spell here. I'm going to fuse. Oh my god, I'm burping so much right now, my fault. Alright, we're going to Dragonmaid Shu. That's kind of it though, that's kind of the game plan. You summon Dragonmaid Shu and then you try to, you try to live your best life with that. I'm going to use Dragonmaid Hospitality, which I don't think I talked about, but it's a monster reborn for the deck, and you send the dragon counterpart into your hand, or into your graveyard. That way you can special summon it with a different effect. Now that I'm looking at it though, would this be a good idea? I don't know. I will be passing here. I do have I have Mystical Space Typhoon because my opponent gets Fiendish Chain as his going second advantage. I'll summon Parlor. Parlor will meld my Tiding. And now I have a way around something here. I am mainly summoning my cards in defense position right now because he has a synchro monster where if he uses it as synchro material, he can destroy all my attack position monsters that have 3500 or less attack. Unfortunately, Dragonmaid Shu has perfectly 3500, so that is unfortunate, but it is what it is. And it's a good board clear for him. I'm gonna set another card. What is he up to? He's up to no good. That's what he's up to. He's gonna activate his skill, right? He's gonna send 2 of his cards to basically synchro summon off of it. That would be really cool, but that's not exactly how it works. He's gonna summon Scarred Red Dragon Archfiend. Very powerful card, mind you. Beware. Let me read this card right now. If this card was sent to the graveyard as a synchro material for a Dark Dragon synchro monster, destroy all attack position monsters. Never mind, that just destroys every single... Goddamn, alright. Here goes my opponent synchro summoning. This is where I... Oh, wait. That's actually... Damn. Damn, that's gonna suck. He chain link blocked it though! Fuck! That's gonna be really bad. Question is, do I bait the negate? Let's bait it. He's I mean, I guess that's not the best negate. Yeah, sure, whatever. Boom. And now we got House Dragonmaid. I can summon it in defense mode. And he still has to negate that, or else Lopar does some damage to him. I'm gonna save my MST for something else. I don't have Tinka Heck, right? Yeah, actually. This is pretty bad for me. He's going to battle phase. I don't have anything out of this. This sucks. He's about to wipe my whole field. Let's let it happen. This doesn't get destroyed because when there's a fusion monster on the field, a dragon fusion monster, this cannot be destroyed by card effects. Bam! We save MST because he has a... Wait, what the hell? Alright, whatever. He has this effect that negates any face-up card on the field. So what I will do right now is activate Book of Eclipse. He will have to negate this. He has to. If he doesn't negate it, he loses. So he's going to negate Book of Eclipse. That guy actually got really lucky with that draw. Now I can MST his other back row just to see what it is. And see what he's got. Got Droplet. That is phenomenal for me. And this is the trick to this deck, right? I have nothing left on the field. Now that I have no cards controlled, I can activate my skill and set my trap straight from my deck, giving me a way out of this situation that seems impossible. Granted, it is impossible. Like, this is such a difficult circumstance to get out of. But Dragonmaid finds a way. Even if he Fiendish chains this, it's not entirely beneficial to him. I think he's reading Dragonmaid Downtime's effect. It's better if he saves it, I'm gonna be honest. If I was in his shoes, I would save it. I mean, it's Dragonmaid Hospitality. Now I can activate Downtime. I'm not gonna activate the effect because I forgot. Here's a cool chain you could do, right? Dragonmaid Changeover. You return a card on your field to your hand to return this card to your hand. One thing that the deck doesn't really tell you, because you kind of have to test it out to know, you can chain both of these cards to add 2 different maids to your hand. So now I can add Nurse. Get Changeover back. And I will go into House Dragonmaid here. I use this effect to return it though, so I should be careful. What did he do to Dragonmaid Shoe? I used the effect, right? Decisions. I gotta hurry up. I don't got that much time. Let's go Dragonmaid Hospitality. Let's summon Lopar, because I don't have another dragon form. We do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Go right back into my Omni Negate. He cannot do anything about this, mind you. Well, he could activate his card and remove my Omni Negate, because his Omni Negate's still on the field. He just used its effect already. So we're going to Nurse. Activate Nurse effect. Go ahead and snag. Go ahead and activate Lopar's effect. This is the part he's probably not thinking about. This is where he's going to make his first and last mistake. He could activate Fiendish Chain right now, but it's not going to work out for him. My timer is ticking because I like to yap when I'm talking about this stuff. I usually don't get it this low. I'm a holla. Send Dragonmaid welcome. All of my Dragonmaids are untargetable after this card resolves. He can no longer do anything to me. Activate Parlor's effect. Now, unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to beat over Red Dragon Archfiend, but I will be able to get rid of his Omni Negate. So my opponent is in a pretty bad situation here. It is Fiendish Chain. That is what the card he has set, but why is he waiting so long? So he's going to negate his own monster's effect, because my Dragonmaids are untargetable. He got me. Send Lopar back. Grab Parlor. Summon Parlor back. So my opponent is pretty boned. He's got to draw the outs of this situation, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Red Dragon Archfiend has that many outs. Go ahead and summon Chamber. Grab another Hospitality for next turn. But as you can see, the resource drought is getting him! Yeah! Yeah! So as it stands, we are 4 out of 5 games. I did say 3 games, but I did ended up doing 5. As you can see from the gameplay, this guy, non-factor. This guy, non-factor, 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 non-factor. Okay, to be fair, I didn't need the third one for those games because they never went that long. But the third one is nice for those games that last a little longer. I didn't even summon this one. I'ma holla. Stay it up, player. Dragonmaids are fun, okay? I love playing this deck. Yeah. So yeah, I'ma holla.
Word of the day. Mio de noche.